The interview. Everyone is terrified of the interview. It doesn't matter what level of job you're going for. Going to the interview is terrifying to everyone. Now, what do you do when you go into an interview? You know, one of the things that I always tell the students here at Grace Institute is smile and look confident, even if you are absolutely terrified. If you walk into an interview and you never smile, people know right away that you're absolutely terrified. So it's very, very hard to carry on the interview because you're terrified. The interviewer is sitting there saying, what can I do to calm this person down? And they're not getting to the questions that they really want to ask you because you are making them nervous now. So what do you do? Well, first of all, it's a very good thing to practice interviewing. Here at Grace Institute, we actually do video interviews. We actually have people come in from corporations and practice interviews with our students. And it really, really helps. But, you know, it's not the answer. You still are terrified when you go for the interview. But just realizing that you're not the only terrified person, everybody in the world is terrified, somehow is a calming thing. And it doesn't tell, you know, I think you should realize that you're never going to be totally calm. And, you know, my father always used to say, a little bit of nervousness makes you perform better. I think that's really true. If you're totally cool and casual, you know what, you're probably not going to perform that well. A little bit of nervousness sets you up to think clearly, to act in a certain way, and to really take the interview seriously, which is what you want to do because you want the job. Here are the most important things that you have to know. You must know about the company that you're interviewing. I mean, if you walk in there and have no idea what this company does, the interviewer is immediately turned off and they will probably terminate the interview within a couple of minutes. So research the company on the internet. The second thing is to be prepared to ask some questions, even if they're just simplistic questions. Be prepared to answer questions. And the third thing is lots of interviewers will say something like, and this is a wide open question, tell me about yourself. Well, be prepared to tell the things you want to tell. Don't go into your whole family history. Don't tell things that your mother would never want you to repeat, okay? Just tell them about who you are, what kind of a worker you are. You could even include things like, you know, that you run track, or that you're a jogger, or that you love to go to the movies, or that you read poetry. Be careful, though, if you talk about reading poetry or you talk about reading books, make sure that you have the name of a poet and you have the name of a book that you're reading, okay? Don't get caught in that one, which people do all the time. Oh, I love to read. Oh, what are you currently reading? I can't remember. You cannot do that in an interview. All right, so those are the really basic things that you have to know, all right? And if you know that and you go in prepared that way, you should feel very confident going into the interview. So let's just repeat what they are. Number one, relax. Number two, learn about the company. 3, ask questions. And the last thing, when you're leaving, smile again. Shake hands with the person, thank them for the interview, and then after the interview, send them a thank you note. And the important thing about the thank you note is you are now showing that you are really interested in this job. And even if you're not interested in the job, send the thank you note. Because remember, this is a huge network out there and people talk to other people, and you want to be sure that when people talk about you, they say, oh, it was a very pleasant interview. Even if they say this is someone we didn't want to hire, they say good things about you. Oh, and the person sent me a lovely note afterwards. So those are the really, really important things. And if you do all those things, you will be very, very successful on your next interview.